What up? It's your boy Wall Street, hit my line. Back again, hitting your line. And today, have yet another installment of Talks with Wall Street, where we dive a little bit deeper. We go below surface level, you feel me? And today, I want to talk about heartbreak and why it can be a good thing for you in terms of your overall development as a human being and an individual and as a person. Getting your heart broken is something that, basically happens to everybody. I obviously there's people who, fall in love in high school and that's their first love, and then they get married and they, have kids and grandkids and all that. That's great, right? But for most people, that does not happen. And even if it does, it's likely that you've had, some other heartbreak happen in middle school or something that made you feel a type of way where you were like, oh, this really hurts, right? But luckily and unluckily for me, I had a very serious girlfriend throughout the latter years of my college career. I think from the time I was a junior in college to like a year out of college. Yeah, I think I was about to turn 24. Maybe I was about to turn 23 or 24. I think I was just turned 23. And so we were together for like 3 years. And that was my first girlfriend. Very big deal. We were together all the time and did pretty much everything together. And I realized that along that road, I kind of lost sight of who I was a little bit, and I think both of us winded up being toxic for each other in a sense. And so eventually I, broke up with her, and it was not, really a good experience. But, and that was kind of it. We were living together at the time, so we had to figure that whole situation out. And, I had to move in with my dad, which was tough. And she moved back home. She wasn't from, where we were staying at, so she moved back home. And, it was a really, really tough time. A really tough time because I'd never dealt with that experience before. And, I was pretty fresh out of college, working a job, so I was adjusting to that as well. It was rough. And then I winded up moving, I was in California at the time. I winded up moving from California. I went from the apartment I was living in with my girlfriend to my dad's house for a couple months, and then I moved to New York. So it was a lot going on at once. But looking back on it now, I don't think I would have wanted it any other way, because it really made me face everything and, be depressed, be sad, let it all out, and, just try to focus on getting better and understanding, what I didn't like about the relationship, what I did like about the relationship, different things, so that I know how to make the right decision for me, first and foremost, going forward, and how to have, a good relationship. Because, like I said, there were aspects of my relationship that I thought were very good, and I enjoyed them very much, but there were a lot of things that I felt were changing me as an individual, and I did not want that to continue. And when you're with someone that long, you really do have love for that person. Even after you break up, you still want the best for them. At least that's how I've felt. Regardless if we're gonna have a relationship or not, I still want the people that I've spent a lot of time with in my life who have done things for me. I want them to succeed and do well, and not go through, tough stuff. I only want you to go through tough stuff if, it's good for you, which a lot of times it is good for you, but yeah, needed to add that. But yeah, so what I'm getting at is heartbreak really is important, because it recenters your focus. And, I didn't really have a clear view of my emotions, of my, trajectory, where I was going in life. While I was in the relationship, I was kind of just going day by day, and wasn't really striving for a lot. I was comfortable, right? I had dreams, but I wasn't really putting a lot into that to make it happen, right? I was like, oh, well, I have my girlfriend, we'll hang out, we'll do what we gotta do, whoop-de-whoop. And, I thought like everything's gonna be cool, but no, when you go through a breakup and you're also transitioning into like corporate America life and all that, you're kind of like, yo, like life is really hitting me hard right now. And, it was a struggle, honestly, to like just even like go on dates and, talk to, new girls and things like that, because you get so used to one person. But that's why, again, why heartbreak is so important, because you like learn to struggle again, right? And I think people are gonna start harping on me and be like, oh, why does dude wants to struggle so bad? I don't. I've come to learn that when you struggle and your daily life is a little bit tougher, but you have that gratification of completing these harder objectives and these harder tasks, your life just becomes better, because you just grow your confidence in yourself and you grow the belief in yourself that you can accomplish what you want to accomplish. And by doing things like that, you're really setting yourself up for success. So, like that breakup, moving to a big city like New York, where I had experience with, because, I grew up in Connecticut, but I had never like lived here for like a long period of time. The most I ever stayed in New York was like a couple months, and now I've been in New York for basically 3 years. So, it was a lot. It was adjusting to a new climate, a new time zone, a new, group of friends that I had been friends with, but I hadn't seen them in a long time. Like, there's just a lot of things that went into it, and having to constantly go through new things and adjust, it was really good for me. And I winded up getting into a routine of like, being more accepting of, myself when I was going out. And, a big thing that I used to deal with was like, I would freak out before I had to go somewhere and see people, because I was like very nervous to talk to people. I was very nervous if there was going to be new people there that I didn't know. I was nervous I was going to get pressured into doing something that was going to make me look foolish, like drinking a lot or, doing something. And when I got to New York, I was like, all right, I already feel super sad and depressed because, I'm still sad about, my breakup. But it was like, how much lower emotionally can I go? So I was like, all right, I might as well just take the opportunity to just be like, hey, anywhere I go from here is going to be up, because I feel awful, I feel terrible, and I just want to improve. So I started focusing so much on myself, because that was the way I knew that I would be able to feel good about myself. Like what was I doing when I felt the best about myself in my life? I was playing basketball every day. I was working out. I was going for runs. I was hanging out with my friends. I was making beats, making music, just doing the things that I like to do, the things that bring me joy. Hanging out with my friends again, hanging out with my family, talking to my family more regularly, like just doing things that I knew were going to help me and help me kind of push myself into the person that I wanted to become. And that's just how it happened. But for anyone out there that's going through a breakup, heartbreak, just know that it gets better. It's not going to be terrible forever. It lasts and it stings for a while, especially, if you date someone for, a year, 2 years, 3 years, anything like that or more, you're going to feel pain for a little while. But it's going to turn you into a stronger person, because going into your next relationship, you're not going to be as, I don't want to say fragile, but like, when you've had your first heartbreak, that one really stings the most. Anything after that, sure, it might sting, but you're going to get over it pretty quickly, I think. And that's just how life goes. It's just, you go through something, and then, the next time you go through it, you're going to be stronger. So you're going to deal with it quicker. You're going to be better at dealing with it. You're going to be quicker to turn, things around and make things happen for yourself. You just have to believe in yourself. But that first heartbreak is always going to happen. For most people, you're pretty lucky if you've never had a first heartbreak. But in some capacity, it's probably been there, and you've had to bounce back, and it's made you a better person for bouncing back. So that's it, guys. If you're going through a tough time, if you're going through a breakup, just lock in, put your head down, really invest your time into something that makes you happy. And what I mean by that is something that makes you personally, as an individual, happy. Do that and just lock in on it. And you're going to get better and better and better at doing that. And then you can expand into other things that, you've wanted to do, but maybe you haven't been able to do because, you got to make time for your boyfriend or girlfriend or what have you. And you're just not, you just weren't making time for yourself like that. But now you got plenty of time for yourself. So focus on yourself first, improve yourself, do what you got to do. And you're just going to get, monumentally better every single day if you just focus on yourself. And then you'll be ready to jump into another relationship, and you'll be much, much, stronger and better off for going through that initial heartbreak. So have faith, believe in yourself, and take things one day at a time. You'll get there. You'll get there. I'm going to catch you guys later, though. Stay safe, stand on business, handle business. Peace.